Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disconnect. Well, today we're going to talk about what is dyspraxia. So, I hope you are all well. Let's get started. Now, dyspraxia is a disorder that affects movement and it can affect your coordination skills as well. In my case, I tend to drop things a lot. You could play a simple game of catch and I drop the ball. Picking up glasses just to drink, I may completely miss my mouth, or I may just drop the glass or knock the glass over because my coordination is completely messed up and my perception is very different to most people. Now, with me, I walk funny. I walk like a penguin, to be honest with you. It affects me in terms of my movement. I walk like Charlie Chaplin. Well, that's the most extreme example, the closest example I can think of, to be honest with you. I just sort of waddle when I walk. I can't help it. I try to walk straight, but it's just really hard. Simple tasks such as crossing the road is difficult because it's hard for me to measure how far a car is or how close a car is. I have to rely on crossing at normal crossings, pedestrian crossings for safety. In the UK, you can actually just cross in the middle of the road in certain areas. We have little islands as well that we can use sometimes. But where there's no pedestrian crossing, that can be a problem. If I'm with somebody else, then yeah. But on my own, it's tough. It's tough. I don't like roller coasters for the same reason, because my perception is all over the place. I don't like looping and spinning around. It's just horrible for me. I have friends who are also dyspraxic and, well, dyspraxic like me, and they're the polar opposite. They love roller coasters, but my experience is different to their experience. Everybody's um, experience with dyspraxia is very different. So yeah, my coordination's all over the place. My balance, I could fall over. I have walked into people. I have tripped over myself. I kid you not. I do trip over myself. Sometimes I've fallen downstairs. I've bumped into walls. Um, Chairs are another thing. Yeah, it's just really bad. Another thing that's not really talked about, memory. I find it really hard to absorb a lot of information. So when people are trying to give me a task, they have to break it down and maybe break it down again so that I understand. Because if you bombard me with too much information, what my brain does is it erases everything you just said to me. So either you break it down or you write it on paper and I just follow the steps. This doesn't mean you speak to me like a baby. It's just how my brain processes things. I have to rely on bullet points as well just to get my point across. So I tend to plan what I have to say in advance. Another thing is awkward pauses. You may have noticed all through this video and maybe even my last video, I make these awkward pauses when I speak. And the reason for that is, again, it's how my brain processes information. I know what I'm going to say, but it takes a long time for information from my brain to come out through my mouth. It's just hard. So you're going to hear really awkward pauses quite a lot through many of my videos. And I'm sure those of you who are dyspraxic can relate to this as well. You probably hate hearing the sound of your own voice because of it. But to be honest, I've learnt in recent years to kind of embrace it because it's a part of me. It's who I am. I make these pauses, so what? Well, one of the biggest problems with me is my time management as well. I'm always late. It can affect me at work. I've got an issue with timekeeping. I have to get up probably ridiculously early just to make sure I get to work on time. For example, I start work at 9 a.m. For most people, they can probably sleep to about 8:30, 6:45, get up, get changed, catch the bus, and get to work on time. Me, I'm up at 5:30 to 6 a.m. to get ready, changed, and I'm very slow in the mornings as well, slow and sluggish. Just it's, even though I know in my head that I'm supposed to have this sense of urgency, it's hard to get my body moving. It's really tough. Mornings are not good for me at all. Yeah, but those are the things I have to do to make sure I get to work. At the end of the day, I have bills to pay. I have to do what I have to do. So those are my experiences. So if you have any questions, leave a comment. I will respond to my comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And yes, and check out my links in the description below for other ways you can support the channel. And thank you for being patient with me. It's not easy doing this, to be honest. I never thought in a million years I'll be doing content like this, but it's needed. Somebody has to step up, because there's nothing for adults out there with dyspraxia. Not really. Most of it is aimed at children, and I just wanted to provide something for us grown-ups. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Take care. Coffee Brand Coffee offers 12 delicious roasts from around the world. They source the highest quality beans, which are hand roasted to order. You also have the choice of organic leaf teas and 3 hot cocoa flavors. And speaking of flavors, why not get your partner a Valentine's Day gift box? I'm sure they'll love some rich caramel hot cocoa. For 10% off, use code DYSCONNECT. That's DYSCONNECT. That's Dysconnect, DYSCONNECT, for 10% off your order. Thank you, Coffee Brand Coffee, for sponsoring this video.